The Goblin King prepares to flee the scene. He presses a button on a hidden device which activates the detonation timer. Anna Maria looks over at the pumpkin bomb beside her and sees the clock start down from 60.
This wasn't in the program,
he huffs.
Another time. Gotta fly.
Spider-Man uses all of his strength to leap into the air, attempting to catch up with his foe. No, more like, gotta run. 'Cause the real me always brings out your true color, Goblin. Yellow.
No!
Screams the king as he hurls one of his goblin razors.
The real Spider-Man would never leave that dwarf to die. Never!
Yeah, you're Osborn all right. Always underestimating everyone. Me, Otto, and Ms. Marconi. Spider-Man snatches the razor out of the air and tosses it towards the roof. And from everything I've seen about her, Anna Maria's a woman who can look after herself. The razor embeds itself into the wall just a few feet away from Anna Maria, and she quickly crawls over to use the blade to help free herself from her bindings. All the while, the two are still going at it in the air above her.
You think I'm afraid of you? I've beaten you before. I've crushed you.
Spider-Man bridges the gap, getting close enough to grab onto the goblin by the wrists. Yeah? You're great against rookie Spider-Man, but I've crushed you too. Spider-Man squeezes down and you can hear a visceral crack as the goblin's bones begin to break. He screams out in pain before laughing and lunging forward, headbutting the wall crawler in the center of his face.
Never for long,
he spits. The two's entanglement causes the glider to go off balance, sending them careening to the New York streets below. Spider-Man decides it's time to put an end to the goblin's antics, for good. There's more than one way to end a goblin, he says. Say ah! Spider-Man reaches into his pocket and takes out the last syringe with the cure. The Goblin King quickly smacks it away.
I don't think so, Spider,
he grunts. Spider-Man then grabs onto the goblin's mask. He rips his arm backwards, tearing off the mask and revealing the face below. Fine, I'll find another way to wipe that grin off your face.
Sticky fingers,
the goblin says, impressed.
Clever. Always wondered why you never did that trick before.
Before? Spider-Man questions. Pal, I have absolutely no idea who you are. The familiar piercing laughter leaves a very unfamiliar face.
That's the point, imbecile. I am Norman Osborn, but my face was too well known, too compromised, so I changed it. Today, I'm Alchemax Executive Mason Banks. Tomorrow, I'll be someone else. Whoever it takes to get the job done.
With less than 15 seconds left on the pumpkin bombs, the two continue to struggle.
Criminal empires are fine, but corporations really run the world. So I built up Alchemax, a legacy for the Osborn name.
Wait, you're changing your name to Alchemax?
Shut up, fool! It's an empire for my grandson! A monument that will live for centuries!
Or at least until 2099, Spider-Man whispers. So why the bomb, genius?
Collateral damage. It couldn't be the only building in the city not hit by goblins. Can't have it connected to them. Or this face. You never should have unmasked me.
Spider-Man counters. Oh, that's not why I did it, Chuckles. See, with your goblin protocols in effect, none of the mini spider bots I brought with me could see you.
What?
The goblin shouts in disgust as a swarm of miniature spider bots begin crawling from Spider-Man's suit onto him. They cover him up from his arms to his face and begin to burrow in his skin. Hope you enjoy all those little guys, Osborn. Everyone's loaded with a goblin cure, courtesy of the late Otto Octavius. Which reminds me, I've got a promise to keep. Back on the building, with barely any time to spare, Anna Maria frees herself from her bindings and sprints towards the edge of the roof before jumping off, arms reaching out for Spider-Man. He sees this and kicks off his enemy and vaults in her direction. Both the heroes and the girls jump, fall short, and he has no choice but to grab her out of the air with one of his webs. But it will be okay, he tells himself. He's practiced this 1,000 times. Where to latch on to someone, how much counterforce to use when reeling them in. At this point, Peter could do it in his sleep, because he's determined never to relive old nightmares. At the same time, Norman is losing control of the Goblin glider, and he falls from it. Spider-Man catches Anna Maria, and, perhaps against his better judgment, swings by to catch Norman too. Hold on tight, Anna Maria. We have a very full flight today.
I don't understand.
Why? Norman stammers. Why'd you fall? 'Cause your goblin strength's gone. Why'd I save you? Because I'm Spider-Man. And when I'm around, no one dies. Even you. Later, on the ground, Spider-Man lands with his 2 passengers and is greeted by Spider-Man 2099, Ty Stone, as well as Liz Allen and her son, Normie. I figure all it'll take is a DNA test and Mason Banks can answer for Norman Osborn's crimes in a court of... Suddenly, Spider-Man's spider sense goes wild. Once again, he doubles over in pain, loosening his hold on his captive, and falls to his knees. The spider sense jammer, Miguel shouts as he looks over and sees Liz Allen holding the device in her hand.
Oh God, I'm sorry, she begins. I never meant seeing Mason after all he did to us. I just tensed up.
You expect us to buy that? He's gotten away because of you. It's okay, Spider-Man tells his counterpart. I believe her. We're old friends. I know you didn't mean it, Liz. Or does he? Peter decides he'll have to keep a close eye on her. Something's definitely off with Liz Allen. And her kid. As Ty, Liz, and Normie walk away, Normie smirks, and Liz whispers quietly, Remember, Normie, Mommy and Grandpa did this for you. All for you. One street over, Norman Osborn drives an empty subway car back into the shadows of his former kingdom.
So theatrical,
he thinks.
And pointless. What was I thinking? The strength and healing powers of the Goblin serum are gone from my system. But, for the first time in ages, so too is the madness. I won. I got exactly what I wanted. Alchemax has been secured for my heir and my legacy. And next time, I'll return with a new plan and a new face. All these years, Spider-Man and his kind have dealt with the giggling lunatic, a madman. You've never faced the real Norman Osborn, a man with all his wits about him. Poor fools. Next time, you'll never see me coming.
After everything quiets down, Spider-Man 2099 prepares to set off. He places his hand on Spider-Man's shoulder. The authorities have everything under control now. That's my cue to leave, before they ask questions I'm not ready to answer. But it was good to see you again. The real you. Likewise, pal. Thanks for everything. See you in the future. I wish. Spider-Man 2099 zips away. As Spider-Man watches his friend leave over the skyline, the Avengers appear overhead. Now they show up, he thinks to himself. After the bad guys bolted? Congrats, Parker. You're back with your luck intact. Well, maybe not. After all, I saved the girl, and no one died. That's when he notices Anna Maria, huddled in an EMT blanket, approaching him from behind.
Spider-Man? Please, you're Peter Parker's friend. I heard he might be dead. Do you know?
Don't worry, Peter's fine, Spider-Man assures her. Take my word for it. He's better than ever. Anna Maria collapses to her knees.
Oh, God.
Spider-Man kneels down to help her to her feet. Hey, let me get you some help. You've been through a lot.
No, I'm okay, now that I know Peter's alright.
Whoa, he really means that much to you, huh?
Everything,
she cries.
He's just the kindest, most thoughtful person. And his mind. If you only knew him the way I do, he's just so amazing. Spider-Man, promise me, if you see Peter, tell him I'm safe, okay?
I promise. Spider-Man responds quietly. Her next words fading as he gets lost in thought.
Thanks for saving us. For a while I thought, no, I just can't imagine a life without him.
As Spider-Man watches the paramedics walk Anna Maria away, the triumphant feeling he had so briefly fades with them. Anna Maria loved Otto. Peter was wrong. For him to even be here, someone had to die.